Good Taco Tuesday, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods. It's Taco Tuesday. It can't be a bad day on Taco Tuesday. I'm trying to think of what kind of tacos I'm going to make today. I think I'll make some shrimp tacos today because, well, let's face it, it's Taco Tuesday. Hey, we want to go all out. So have you gotten the Dallas Cowboys losing to the Broncos out of your system yet? Have you stopped being mad about it yet? Today's the Cowboys players' day off. Tomorrow, they'll be able to get back out on the field and start getting themselves together for the Atlanta Falcons, who, mind you, if the season were to end today, would be in the playoffs. Let's not sleep on anybody right now, as we look at the schedule, because things evolved. It was almost comical because last night when I was doing my fireside chat, Denver was up 21-3. Out there, and it's like, okay, excuse me, Denver. Pittsburgh was up 21-3, going away. Did my fireside chat, and I put it up in there, and I stopped watching the games. I said, okay, it's the Bears, and the Bears are who we thought they were. And I'm reading some of the comments later on, and somebody said the Bears are up 27-26. And I'm like, the fuck? What happened? And it ended up being that Pittsburgh ended up winning, kicking a drive. Big men got it together. They had a drive, kick a field goal, win the game. Their fourth win in a row. I'm not saying that Pittsburgh's a great team, but they're finding ways to win, and that's all you have to do in the NFL. And when you look at where things were, say, after 3 weeks, people were talking about Pittsburgh. They're a dead team. They stink. People looking at Atlanta. Oh, Atlanta. Oh, my God. They're awful. But yet, these guys have kind of turned a corner a little bit and are getting some wins under their belt. And so this is the evolution of the season. Just because the team starts out great in the beginning of the season doesn't mean they're going to be great throughout it. There's going to be lulls. You think about Tampa Bay last year. Tampa Bay was 2-3 in November, getting blown out by the New Orleans Saints. But they righted the ship in December, got hot, and went on a run and ended up winning the Super Bowl. In fact, they didn't even win their division. So just be cool. Just be cool. We're just at the halfway point of the season. Well, not exactly, because we only have 8 games. We still have 9 games left. So I'm going to focus today on something that has literally blown my mind with the numbers. Micah Parsons, okay? The Cowboys, as much as people keep saying that Cowboys need to get a real GM and Jerry Jones and stuff stinks, the Cowboys, they struck gold in the last couple of drafts. Between getting Diggs, between getting CeeDee Lamb, and now Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons' numbers are crazy, and I want to actually focus in on those numbers this morning because here's what you've got so far in this young season. Right now, on the season, he has 5 sacks. 5 sacks. And I know a lot of people, that's not a whole lot of sacks. Okay. Is he a linebacker or a defensive end? That's the first question. But we're only halfway through the season. He has 52 combined tackles. Okay. 38 solo, 14 assists, 10 tackles for a loss, 14 quarterback hits. And if we go down here to the advanced stats, quarterback pressures, he has 18. If we go through and add there's no guarantee that the numbers are going to continue at this pace. It may end up being he hits a brick wall because he's used to that college schedule and the NFL season being so long. But if we go through with the averages that he's having, clearly he got 2.5 sacks this 1 week. That doubled his total. He had 10 tackles this game alone. So he seems to be getting stronger as opposed to weaker. But if we follow along with the statistics that he has currently for a season, the numbers are mind-blowing. We're talking about 10.5 sacks is what he's on pace for right now. He's on pace for 110 tackles. He's on pace for 80 and 3/4 solo tackles. 21 and a quarter tackles for a loss, 30 quarterback hits, and 38 pressures. Guys, that's almost like historic. Understand when he got his third sack last week through 8 games in a season, he's joining company of like DeMarcus Ware, as Cowboys rookies to do to get 3. He's got 5. He's blowing their statistics out the water. And I want to compare something here that really blew my mind. DeMarcus Lawrence, okay? DeMarcus Lawrence has been a beast for the Cowboys, and I'm not trying to say anything to sully DeMarcus Lawrence. In fact, I'm not trying to push him down. I'm trying to let you know how good Micah Parsons is. If we take the numbers of Micah Parsons just for this season, what he's done right now, that's better or on par with what DeMarcus Lawrence did last year. DeMarcus Lawrence had 34 solo tackles. Micah Parsons, let me go back in here. Micah Parsons right now has 38 solo tackles, right? 38. The same number, 4 more than DeMarcus Lawrence had last year. He's got 5 sacks, although DeMarcus Lawrence in the season had 6.5. He's only a sack and a half behind him. Tackles for a loss, DeMarcus Lawrence has 11 and 10 quarterback hits. We go back here. Tackles for a loss, Micah Parsons has 10 and 14 quarterback hits. You could say that the numbers that DeMarcus Lawrence had last year, that in half of the time, Micah Parsons has done it. And let's go a step further. Let's look at DeMarcus Lawrence, his best numbers in any category of any of the years. Now, the best year he had in sacks is 14.5. Great year. I think he ended up being third in the defensive MVP category. Right now, Micah Parsons is on pace for D-Law's second best as a rookie at 10.5 sacks. Okay, it's pretty good. Considering he's just a rookie, that he's on pace to have DeMarcus Lawrence's best number in sacks. Now, what people will tell you is, well, hold on. DeMarcus Lawrence's sack numbers haven't been great, but he does great with run stopping, and I'm not saying he doesn't. He does. So we go through in tackles combined. Micah Parsons is on pace for 110. The closest D-Law is 58. Micah Parsons is about to have, if everything goes through, 52 more tackles than D-Law in his best season. Let's go to the solo numbers. Micah Parsons is on pace to have 80 and 3/4 solo tackles. The most D-Law had was 42. He's almost going to double that number. Tackles for a loss. Right now, Micah is on pace for 21. The closest D-Law had is 14. Quarterback hits. The most that D-Law had was 26 of the season. Micah Parsons is on pace for 30. And if we go down here to quarterback pressures, did I pass it? Let's see. Pressures. The best that D-Law, when they just started doing this stat in 2018, was 42. My man's on pace for 38. So looking at this, if you literally take DeMarcus Lawrence's best statistic numbers, only one of them two of them, total sacks and best and pressures, will he not beat this season if things continue to go on the same pace. There's no guarantee that he will. He may end up getting rest. There could be injuries. You don't know. But just using this, what data we have, and just trying to project. Even if he's resting a game or two, he's still already passing what he did last year. It's unbelievable. He has become a one-man wrecking crew. And for the Cowboys to draft him, wow. Just wow. You look at the Raiders, for example, who Henry Ruggs and Damon Arnett, their first and basically two number one picks that they got from trading Khalil Mack and stuff away, that are no longer on the team. For the Cowboys to hit gold, I mean gold. And to me, your first goal in the draft is get an impact player and then get two starters and then get some depth. If you look at what the Cowboys have done in the draft the last 2 years, they are overachieving on getting a great draft. And that, my friends, is how you win, because you look at Micah Parsons' cap number, it's only like $3.8 million. You look at DeMarcus Lawrence's, that's at 22 this year and 27 next year. This is why the draft is the be-all, end-all on building a team. You have the guys for 4 years, dirt cheap. And that's when you've got to get them in there, get them playing, and get them winning, and let them move on and get paid elsewhere, and keep reloading with the next group of guys. So that's what I've got here for this morning. I've got a lot that's going on today. But I want to go through one more thing. My man Rich Eisen. It's amazing how everybody's been singing the Dallas Cowboy praise and talking about Super Bowl contenders and MVPs. They have one loss, and all of a sudden they're the worst team in football. But the funny thing in here is, what about Buffalo?
It's more unexpected and maybe the most impressive road win of the year. Certainly when the heart and soul of the team's defense, even though I guess had some argument over the cost of a Halloween party before he got traded. But, I mean, this guy is a Super Bowl 50 MVP for this team, and they trade away Von Miller. He says goodbye to everybody in the facility. And you're sitting here wondering, okay, why would they hold on to Teddy Bridgewater in trade talks, apparently, as they did on Tuesday when the Saints called and asked for Teddy Bridgewater? And the Broncos go into Dallas and absolutely spank the Dallas Cowboys. They did it all. They ran it down their throats.
They did.
Bridgewater was stupendous. He dropped one into Tim Patrick right in the bucket for a big game. Javonte Williams, the rookie, $111. And they absolutely shut down this Dallas offense.
I'm not going to say they didn't.
Zeke in the game. He came out for a little bit, but he came back in. Cooper and Lamb were banged up. They were up, though. And the Cowboys got spanked.
He did.
By the Denver Broncos. And so, just when you thought this was a different Dallas Cowboys team, and I have been saying that all year long, out comes the clunker. This was straight out of the AT&T Jones Mahal vault of Jason Garrett and early Mike McCarthy from last year, where just when you thought you can't count the Dallas Cowboys out, they count themselves out. That said, I will say this. They're still a supremely talented team. These clunkers happen. You even predicted it, T.J. Jefferson. When we did the win-loss game, you came in today, you're like, I predicted the Dallas Cowboys were going to lose the Denver Broncos. You did that in the summer.
I mean, I did.
You predicted them to lose the opener, win every game after it.
And then lose to the Broncos.
Correct.
Yes.
Wow.
So you nailed all of that.
Well done.
So it was easy for me to digest yesterday's L, Rich. So it was easy to digest.
There was some text back and forth that you had indigestion digesting that. We won't get too deep into it because it's a family show.
That's just love right there.
But I'm giving the Broncos that's a team that could just have folded their tent, backed up the U-Haul. You're trading Vaughn. Yeah. I mean, what where are we going from here? Coach could be on thin ice. Why are we rallying around anything? And man, were they impressive. Yeah. That was incredible. That was a heck of a road win that was out of nowhere. And I'm sure with that and the Jaguars wins over the Bills.
Finally.
The football tiki lamps were put out.
A lot of survivors.
And a lot of spots by the Jeff Probst football gods. The tribal council spoke in a lot of those pools coast to coast yesterday, and the Broncos deserve it. And I will say this, Dallas has got a ton of real estate to go, and their division is theirs. They're a supremely talented team. And this is one of those, you take the film, you bury it.
I think so.
That's it. You just move on. So that's my professional, buttoned up,
well done, classy,
lead pipe wielding professional analysis.
Yep.
All right, now give us the Rich Eisen.
As for the Jet fan in me,
here we go,
who had to hear from parts over there on this set,
unknown,
over there, the rare heel turn for T.J. Jefferson on this program, to use his wrestling phrase. The whole business of, hey, Mike White could be your guy. I don't know. And then Josh Johnson did that whole thing. And what did I say to him, Christopher? I'll tell you what I said to him. I said to him throughout the week that Zach Wilson is still our Dak Prescott. How could it be Dak Prescott?
Right.
I know I'm not sounding like you, not
even remotely close.
Not even remotely close.
I mean, he's got a deep voice, TJ.
But I'm just, doing that voice that people say when the garbage that comes into your ear gate that you have to filter out. Zach is the Jets' Dak.
I mean,
because we're putting all the eggs in that basket. We don't have to give him a franchise contract yet because he hasn't earned it. He hasn't gone to that part of his career. He's just a baby. I mean, look at him. Like, you have to card him coming into stadiums. But the most capital the Jets had was the second overall pick in this year's draft, and they invested that.
Well, it's funny how the world comes to an end when the Cowboys lose. Buffalo is only a footnote. It is what it is, guys. Just move on. Everybody has some bad games, and the Cowboys got theirs. Hopefully they'll get focused and come tomorrow. They go to practice, and they practice their ass off. You know how we roll.
Our coach here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?